You're commuting home with Katz and Cosby. Now, here's John Katzimatidis and Rita Cosby on 77 WABC.
And joining us now here on Katz and Cosby is Congressman Andy Biggs from the great state of Arizona. Congressman, I know you guys had a forum today investigating, of course, the Butler, PA attempted assassination of President Trump. What were some of the big questions that you still have?
Well, even after we go forward from today, I think we need to be asking why there's so many systemic failures, particularly on that day. Why was Donald J. Trump, who is one of the most threatened persons perhaps in the world, but certainly in the United States, probably more so even than the president, certainly more so than Dr. Jill, the First Lady. Why did he have a reduced team, a Secret Service team? And then you throw in all the other systemic issues like why didn't the Secret Service show up at a 9 a.m. briefing? Were they given an opportunity to join and receive the radios that were to be used that day? Yes, they were. Did they pick them up? No, they didn't. So you get a whole flow of this thing. When was the shooter first observed and formally notifying the teams? And that was almost exactly 1 hour before the shooting. And when did the counter sniper team start receiving pictures and information about it? More than 30 minutes later. I mean, these are failures that seem to be so many that when you get so many systemic failures, you wonder, is this really gross incompetence, or is it criminal negligence, or is it something more?
Congressman John Katzimatidis, I think there's much more going on than people realize. I really think that we don't know the whole story. I still don't know why the body was cremated, because this involves the former president of the United States. It doesn't apply to a minor league situation. And it just, something is wrong somewhere.
Well, John, you're right about that. I mean, and let's not forget that you have a gentleman who was murdered right in front of his whole family, two others seriously injured. But you have the former president of the United States, the front runner of the Republicans, the nominee, all of that wrapped in one. And here's what happened. You've got Cheadle, the former director Cheadle of the Secret Service, saying we couldn't put snipers on that roof. Well, first of all, because the slope was too great. Well, first of all, that's a big blatant lie, and we all knew it at the time. But FBI is cleaning everything up, cleaning up the crime scene and folding down and shutting down the crime scene 3 days after the event. The body is cremated. The coroner didn't know that was going to happen even. So you have all those weird questions. And let's face it, with the track record of the federal government, whether it's the FBI, Secret Service, or whatever, and we listed a whole bunch of those other Secret Service problems that we have, the American people don't really trust their institutions anymore. And so you get a crime scene that is probably prematurely cleaned up. You get a body that is cremated. We don't have any information coming forward. Yes, so the American people, like you, John, are wondering what really happened there. I can't tell you. I was at a big event on last Friday, and people are asking, that's the question. What really happened there? Are we going to get to the bottom of it? Do we trust our institutions? They should not be investigating themselves. Nobody trusts them.
Yeah, Congressman Andy Biggs, too. We had Congressman Michael Waltz on a couple days ago, and he said that he cannot rule out that maybe somebody else was involved somehow because of these sort of encrypted apps that the guy had. He's a 20-year-old. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I trust some of the investigators that I've talked to. We don't think there was a second shooter, but let's face it. He's a 20-year-old guy putting together sophisticated explosive devices in his car with his sophisticated remote control. He's running a drone ahead of time. but there is no footprint on the internet to show that he was getting any information on that. So a lot of us wonder who else was involved with this guy. Who else was involved with this guy? And I think that came out in our hearing today, or in our forum today. People, whether it's Bongino, Prince, or our local sniper that was there, they're all talking about, like, the issue really is we don't know who might have been helping that guy, because somebody seems to have helped that guy, because he's definitely wasn't sophisticated enough to do that, to do those, like I say, the explosives, or actually maybe even case the place. But here's another thing, going along with John and Rita, what your issues are and what American people want to know is there was no counter surveillance team. There wasn't even a counter surveillance team to watch, because there's all kinds of video of that guy. And when he's walking along, surveillance experts tell me that he would have raised suspicion much, perhaps hours ahead of the rally even. But Secret Service didn't bother to put a counter surveillance team in place. Why? Why not?
The other question, and we brought it up the other day, was the fact with those bombs in the car, was it placed there somehow because if he did succeed in killing the president and was escaping, that car was meant to blow up?
Well, we don't have any. I mean, that's a theory. We just don't have enough information that's in the domain that I've been able to see to conclude why he was doing the bomb, other than it may have meant to be a distraction for him to escape. Who knows? But
he was not meant to escape. It was supposed to be something like Oswald and Ruby all over again.
Yeah, really interesting stuff, John. I mean, there's a lot of unanswered questions.
I think the investigation has to continue, and Congressman, you just have to keep an open mind and look at it. That's all.
Congressman, thank you. Keep us posted, please.
All right, Rita, John, thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.